Welcome back to the channel, survivors. We have a action-packed update for you guys today, including a huge upcoming DLC on the horizon for Ark that you definitely do not want to miss out on. Plus, we're going to dive into some exciting changes and new content also that's going to be coming to the game here in the near future. So gear up, get ready, and let's dive right in. Alrighty, first up, let's talk about Club Ark. There are some exciting new missions and events that are going to be coming our way. The developers mentioned in the most recent community crunch that due to the positive feedback, they have some exciting plans that will do things like enhance a player customization, add new missions for you guys to, tackle to earn more coins. They'll add new events for players to participate in and additional new content related to Club Ark here in the future. If you guys haven't jumped in here and checked out a Club Ark server, I highly recommend that you do. Even if you don't normally play on official network, at least join an official map, jump into Club Ark as soon as you possibly can, just so you can check it out for yourselves. Because again, I think this is a really good addition that they have added into the game. It makes for, a way to break up the monotony of the simple grind, of a, survival game. But secondly here, it just adds a really cool, fun, cooperative experience that whether you play on PvE or PvP servers, you can still join up and see other players without having the, feeling of that survival nature. Additionally, it also gives players a way to earn additional loot by, going to the Club Ark, gambling away, completing the missions, participating in the events, and then spending that currency again for a gamble, because again, nothing is guaranteed to give you something specific in Club Ark. But what is really cool is you can earn these items and then bring them back to your official network, which again is something really cool and creative, and I have heard tons and tons and tons of feedback of how players really like this feature. And now don't get that twisted, there is still tons of TLC and tweaking to be had here for this to be ironed out or fleshed out. I know one of the biggest ones that a lot of people have reported on, and that is just the loot quality is nowhere near as good as like going around your own map and collecting all of the drops in the harder zones on a flyer. So again, they obviously got to make some tweaks and stuff here, but I do think it is a very good direction here for Ark to create these social hubs for the individual maps or series of maps to just give players some way to engage and additional ways for them to earn some sort of gear. As for me personally, I really like the social hub. I'm very excited to see what they have in store in the future for additional missions or bounties, whatever you want to call them, that players can complete inside of the Club Ark to then earn some additional credits. And secondly, I'm very excited and eager to know what events they have in store or thinking about implementing here for Club Ark in the future. Some of the ones that I have seen a lot of people request that I think would be really good are like a duos or a trios when it comes to, the duels, like the battles of, fighting each other. I think that'd be super, super fun. I know a lot of PvP players would love that. And additionally, they started off with this Dodo Rex being like kind of like a mini PvE boss, style mini game. And it would be really cool to see them expand on that with further, additional bosses that you would have to take down, or even allow you to team up with other players to also take them down. And now with that being said, diving into another really big announcement that they dropped here at the very end of the community crunch, ever so subtle here, but that relates to Aberration's map coming to Ark Survival Ascended. Can this potentially mean that Aberration is still on track to arrive here in August of 2024? In the community crunch, they mentioned that's about it for this week. Keep an eye out for next week's community crunch for news on one of our favorite maps, beautiful Aberration. And if we take a second to take a look at the original roadmap for Ark, we can see that this roadmap so far has been almost on point relating to when exactly these DLCs are dropping. I know they did provide an updated roadmap, later on, but so far they haven't really been hitting any of those marks, and they're actually looking like they're more in line with the original roadmap. And since then, they have mentioned that they're planning on dropping a new map approximately every 2 months. Well, we just had the center map dropped here in June, and if you add 2 months onto that, that does bring us to August. And obviously, we're not going to hit the July marker on the new roadmap, but I do think August is still actually shaping up to really fit the bill here for Aberration's launch. Not only that, I know a lot of other content creators have mentioned this across social platforms, X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it, and they all are also thinking the exact same thing, that we are going to be seeing Aberration come, this coming August, and that they obviously mentioned here in the community crunch to give us some sort of information this week, on Friday's community crunch. Maybe they'll tell us the exact date, or potentially maybe they'll tell us at least the exact month we could potentially expect it. Now, with that thought of Aberration just slightly on the horizon, let's talk about some additional things that are coming alongside that. Well, the first one, obviously, we have the Bob's Tall Tall Tales DLC. Now, this one did drop with Scorched Earth, but in this DLC pack, it actually has 3 different sub-packs. We have the Scorched Earth one, we have the Aberration one, and also the Extinction pack. So with that, obviously, we can expect a handful of new items, as we can see from this image here, and what exactly we will get when Aberration does arrive. So that's going to be something else to consider if you guys are looking to pick up the pack and you have not picked up the Bob's Tall Tales. This is going to also affect and be in effect for the new Aberration map. And in addition to that, we also have a brand new creature that we could expect to see here arrive with the Aberration map, and that is the Yingling, which is going to be another community voted creature that up until this point we have not heard anything additional about it, besides that it was set to debut originally with the Aberration map. So there's a lot of speculation going on that the Yingling will actually be added at the exact same time as Aberration, and potentially all of that could be coming to the game as early as August of 2024. And now, in addition to the Aberration DLC, they also dropped a hint to the Summer Bash event, which we did not receive one last summer, so it's going to be interesting to see how that reflects and caters into this summer here for Ark Survival Ascended. But they did mention here, and with Summer Swirl Taffy season almost here, we'll share a hint of what's in store for this summer. And obviously, a lot of speculation is going on that this is just simply the Summer Bash event going to be making a reappearance here for Ark Survival Ascended. But again, we have no additional details at this moment. We're going to have to wait until this week's Community Crunch to dive in a little bit deeper. Now, next up for news, we have a couple of changes related to the Moon Pool in the North Ice Cave on the center map. They state the Moon Pool has been slightly expanded and slopes have been added. We understand how impactful small changes like this can be, so we will monitor and make further adjustments if needed. Please note that some structures on the edge of the Moon Pool may be destroyed, but we've seen minimal impact in our test cases. Now, if you want my personal opinion, I would absolutely just pack up your stuff and move if you do not want to take any risk whatsoever of losing your base, or at least large portions of your base. They say they have seen minimal impact here, but you guys know how all of those words are taken, and they should be taken like a grain of salt here when it relates to losing progress or things in Ark. So if you don't want to take any risk whatsoever, I would not be built in this area, and I would directly make sure you guys are in the process of moving everything out before they enact these changes by the end of this week. And last but not least, guys, do not forget we have the engine upgrade on the horizon, according to Jeremy, hopefully by the end of summer. This is going to officially bring us up to Unreal Engine 5.4, which if you look everywhere, it seems like 5.4 is a significant improvement and will hopefully increase a lot of the performance problems we have here for Ark Survival Ascended and just make the game function and run smoother for any and all players. And that's going to be it for us today, survivors. As always, let me know what your thoughts are on all of this stuff down below in the comment section. I love having these discussions and just listening to everybody's point of view. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe here on the channel for everything Ark Survival Ascended related. And don't forget, I do have a PvE community cluster here that has the island map, the Scorched Earth map, and the center map now all available. If you guys are interested in joining that, you got to utilize the link down below in the description for the Discord. Jump in there, pick up the Ark roll, and you guys are set to go. As always, thank you all very much for tuning in, and you have a wonderful Monday, and I will see you all on the next one.